shot before this.
Yes, we should have loosened it up a little bit.
Okay, all right. Hi everyone, welcome back to the life of T and N. Thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and I make videos all about nursing. So make sure you subscribe and join the journey. So in today's video, I'm sure you already know by the title, but it's gonna be a get ready with me and a nursing Q&A. So we're gonna be using Alondra and Elsie's BFF collection, and I have my best friend here with me to ask me the nursing questions. But also, if you guys are gonna be interested in a BFF collab review, you're gonna wanna head over to her channel and check it out. So you wanna introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Yaya. I have a makeup channel. If you want to see the full review on this collection, plus more, head over to my channel at It's Yayamariecee.
I will have her link in my description down below. So make sure you click on it, go to her channel, show her some love, and make sure you subscribe. All right, so let's get right into today's video. Before we get into the questions, we're gonna show you what we're gonna start off using from the BFF collection.
The eyeshadow palette.
Okay, so we have our eyeshadow palette and we're ready to get started. So you wanna hit me with the first question?
Yes. How long did it take you to get into nursing school?
Okay, so I started off as an LVN before I became an RN. And so when I went for my associate's degree at a community college, I applied for an RN program and I never got in. So I tried for 2 years, I had straight A's, and it was so competitive, this was back in 2011 and 12, that I could not get in. So I was talking to people and asking them like, hey, what's the best route to get into RN school? Well, I tried and tried and tried. Like I said, I applied to 13 RN schools and I never got in. So then I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to try the LVN route. I got into the LVN program and that was super easy to get into. You can find a private school. So if you pay the money and you get into a private school, it's super easy, right? You got the money, you meet like some of the basic prerequisites and you get in. So then after LVN, I worked as an LVN for 4 years. I got into RN school with my first try, but that was an LVN to RN transition program. And so I would say that it took me 4 years to get into RN school. And that's because I went the LVN to RN route.
Would you recommend that for others?
Yes and no. If you want to be an RN, go straight to RN school. Don't waste your money, don't waste your time. But if you are one of those that you cannot get into RN school, you're trying, it's super competitive. I live in California, so I feel like no matter where you are in California, it's super hard to get in. And so if you can get into RN school, go straight to RN school. Don't do LVN to RN. But if you're having difficulties, definitely take that route. It's more money, more time, but you will get your RN at the end.
Nice. What did you use to pass the Nclex exam?
Okay, I get this question a lot. And all nurses want to know, how do you pass the Nclex?
Is that the one that like was really, really hard?
Yeah, so you basically have to take that in order to become a nurse. It's a state test. So if you don't take the Nclex, then you don't become a nurse. So this is
even if you did amazing in school.
Yes, does not matter.
All of that weighs on that one exam.
One exam.
No pressure to you students.
So I want to make a whole video on this, but what I am going to say is you're not going to pass the Nclex if you didn't put the work in while you're in school.
Period.
Right? So it obviously starts with that. Like, you have to have a foundation before going into Nclex. You can't just expect to skate through nursing school and then just pass the Nclex. There's nothing out there, I'm telling you, that is a guarantee that you're going to pass if you didn't do the work in nursing school. So I would say there is a book, and it's by Pearson VUE. If you don't know, the Nclex is given by a company called Pearson VUE. And so they came out with the Nclex book that mirrors exactly the Nclex. And so I studied that book from front to end, and I ended up passing the Nclex with 76 questions. You need 75. So I got to 75, and then I was like, oh shit, it's gonna go to the next one. And it did, but then after that one, I ended up passing.
Dang. And you think that book had a lot to do with it?
Definitely, because I feel like the book's questions were exactly like the test. So I feel like I was so used to that format of answering those questions that when I got to the actual Nclex, I was like, oh, I've seen these type of questions before. So I recommend that book.
Link down below. How long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse for 8 years. So I graduated with my LVN in 2013. I graduated with my RN in 2017. We're going on 3.5 years as an RN.
Do you love being a nurse?
I love it.
Is it everything you thought it'd be when you were a child or when you were a teen, saying you wanted to be a nurse?
I think it's more. And I think it's more because I always thought nursing was hospital.
Oh,
right?
That's true, yeah.
So I feel like I told myself, like, I'm gonna be a nurse, and I just thought I was gonna be in the hospital taking care of patients. And that's not where my life is, right? So I'm a public health nurse. It's super different. It's not what I thought I was gonna be doing. So yes, I love taking care of people, but it's just a different side of nursing.
I feel like I don't, because I didn't know that there was other things other than a hospital or a clinic that you could be a nurse in, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was shocked when I was like, nurse, what?
Yeah. And so I think that's why I like making videos on my channel about public health nursing, because you get nurses that are so tired of nursing. And I put it in quotations because people think nursing is just hospital nursing. And I vowed so hard that you don't have to be a hospital nurse to be a true nurse. And I always say that's nothing against those that work in a hospital at all. I'm not talking crap, but I'm just saying that there's other things out there other than hospital nursing.
Imagine the woman that like switched careers because they didn't know that there was other ways.
So that's so true. I was on a Facebook post or something, and someone said, I worked like 13 years cumulatively to become a nurse. She was in nursing for 2 years and left nursing, never redid her license or anything because she was at a hospital job and she hated it. And there were so many comments underneath like, you should have did community health, you should have did case management, you should have did hospice. And it's so true because people get so burnt out of a hospital job, right? I mean, you may only work 3 or 4 days and you're just burnt out and you're like, you know what? I thought I wanted to be a nurse. I got into it and I absolutely hate it. Like I love taking care of patients, but I just hate it. Like it's not for me.
It's like the most intense retail ever.
Yeah. And so I feel like always expressing to new grads that there's other jobs out there. If you feel like patient care isn't for you or you don't want to work in a hospital, there's other things out there. Case management, workman's comp, public health. You can work in a dermatology clinic and give lip fillers all day.
Oh, period.
You could do plastic surgery.
Really?
Yeah.
You can do my BBL.
Or I'm gonna do my own BBL. Yeah, so there's just so many other things, and I think that's what I love about nursing. And I would suggest that anybody who feels like they want to give up on nursing, please don't, because there's other things out there for you that you are going to love.
Period. What was the worst nursing job you had?
So the worst nursing job I ever had was the one I just left last month.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was a part-time nursing instructor, and I'm gonna go into more of it in a future video, but that was the worst job I ever had. So I actually went for my master's in nursing education, ended up getting my first nursing education job and hated it.
Okay.
Cliffhanger.
Why, I know. To be continued.
I love a good drama eye.
Yeah, but remember.
Dramatic eye, drama eye.
Dramatic eye. Do you want to go back for your doctorate degree? No, please no more school. Please have a free schedule. We need to hang out.
So my family and friends will say, do not go back.
She has no time for me when she's in school.
Right now, I don't want to go back. However, in the future, possibly. I think it's definitely my future. It's definitely my future to go back, but I have some big things coming up that I can't, you know, but I can't let you guys know yet. And so I really want to focus on that and get that done, and then probably so.
But what would you gain from a doctorate degree besides like super accomplishments for yourself? Like, kudos, that's great. But
yeah,
like,
great question.
What changes?
So I don't know if I want to get my DNP, my Doctorate of Nursing Practice, or my PhD in nursing. You could do more with the PhD, and I feel like at one point in my career, I want to be a director of nursing. And to be a director of nursing at any agency, facility, whatever you want to call it, most of them have their doctorate degree.
So if you go for a doctorate degree, how much more school are we talking?
They say that you can finish it in 3 or 4 years, but they give you up to 8 years to finish it.
Good God. Okay.
Travis is in the other room and he's probably like, hell no.
What was the hardest part of nursing school?
The hardest part, I would say, is trying to complete all the assignments. Well, I guess having a regular life too. So in nursing school, you have to give up a lot, like birthday parties, friends, like you have to sacrifice a lot. And then the amount of work that they give you to do is just insane. Like read 8 chapters in this book and 7 in this book, do 2 discussion questions, you have an ATI, you have an exam, and then you have clinicals on Saturday for 12 hours, and then you still work. Like,
it just overwhelmed me.
How is that, like, how is that possible? I guess if you're not working, maybe you can do it if you're working part-time. I would say trying to read all the material, learn everything, take the test, do the exams, like super overwhelming.
But how did you get through it? What would you recommend to a student?
Yeah, so I would recommend support, having a good support system. I made a video on that, so make sure you go watch it. I'll link it down below. And also time management. I'm gonna make a video on this. If you guys are interested, comment down below, because I literally had a calendar for the week. I would write down when I work, what appointments I had, like what I needed to do by the hour, and then I would fit in when I would study. Okay, what else do I want to do with my look?
Let me see where you're at. Look where I'm at. I'm struggling. Did you have to cut yours down?
Nope.
Me either. Do we have big eyes?
Yeah.
That's what me says all the time.
Okay.
Good.
Whoa, that's a lot of lashes.
Yeah. So at what age did you realize that you wanted to be a nurse?
Oh, I really love your eyeshadow.
Thanks. It came together.
Yeah,
right?
it did
I told
come
you
together.
the inner eye really helped it. Okay, so at what age did you realize that you wanted to be a nurse, and what was like the motivational story behind it?
So I was in 8th grade,
Very young.
and we were in San Jose, and my dad got really sick. It was like one night he was rolling on the floor, his stomach was really hurting. He ended up getting admitted to the hospital. He was in the ICU for like 2 weeks, and we didn't know if he was gonna make it.
Oh my God.
And I just remember the nurses being so amazing, like walking us through what's going on, saying like he's gonna be okay, any questions we had. They were just very tentative to our needs. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I wanna be a nurse.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so like, did you like do anything besides school? Like when you were younger, that was like gearing towards that career? You know what I mean? Like some people, when they want to be an artist, they draw all their life, you know?
Yeah. So no, I would say I just went to school. I always had really good grades. I did go to private school all my life, except when I got to high school. So I don't know if that's anything different.
Could be.
And then when I got into high school, so after I knew I wanted to become a nurse, then I geared all my high school classes towards that. So like I took advanced classes, and I got into a program that's called ROP. And so what it is for one of your periods, so you pick like either the morning period or your last period of the day, you go off site and you go to like this college prep class, but it's for nursing. And so we went into hospitals, we like got to do very basic stuff like vitals, take temperatures. It was like very basic. But I did that for 2 years, and that really prepped me going forward.
If you weren't a nurse, like if nursing did not work out for you, did you have a backup plan? And what was it?
I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Me too.
So I think I would have went to law school, for sure.
I could totally see that.
For sure.
I could totally see you as a lawyer.
And I might want to go back to do it before I die.
Oh my God. You should just be a student.
That's
just what you want to do. You just want to be a student.
I had a teacher who was a nurse anesthetist. That's like the highest nurse you could be.
Oh my God.
She had 2 masters. She had a doctorate, and she was a lawyer. I was like, cool.
What is your ideal nursing position?
My ideal nursing position, that's a great question.
I got some questions on lock for you.
So these are like not social media questions. These are just BFF questions. My ideal nursing job, I would want to be the director of nursing or like a chief nursing officer. I want to be like the highest level in administration you could be.
You just want to be a boss.
When I started nursing, I thought, oh no, I'm gonna be an ER nurse. So if you guys know me personally, I always said I wanted to be an ER nurse. Like my family, my friends, everyone knows it. But then when I got into nursing, like out of the field, I was like, oh no, that's not what I want to do. And now that when I got into public health, like, yeah, I like this is cool. And then I became a supervisor and I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I just feel like I can affect more change if I go higher up. Okay, I kind of love that on you.
The look?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I do.
I think it really fits you.
Oh, thank you so much. I have another question.
Next question.
Okay. So if you did not struggle to find a RN program, what was your first choice of school to go to? And why?
It's a local community college. It was only, I think, $1,000 for the whole program.
Oh my.
And it was local. It was, yeah, Monday through Friday. I wasn't working. I was still living with my parents. So I was like, this is ideal. Like $1,000 freaking dollars. And the program was only 2 years. You only get your associate's degree. So I guess that's the downfall. But I was like, man, do you guys want to know how much I spent for my RN program?
Yes, let's talk about debt. Let's talk about debt.
My RN program, granted it was an LVN to RN bridge program like we talked about. And you get your bachelor's when you finish, yada, yada, yada. That program, I ended up spending $24,000. But yet, guess how much my LVN program was?
Ow.
I'm just gonna spill all the tea. My LVN program, it was a private school. Like I said, those are easier to get into. Remember, there's no competition. If you got the money, you can get in. That was $34,000. $34,000. Good, you can drink.
Wait. $34,000?
Yeah, so my LVN program was $34,000, then my RN, and then I went back for my master's. So y'all can only imagine.
Good God. Now, but as a nurse, you make that back.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, so a little break moment. We're going into the face palettes. So I love these colors.
Oh. Okay. Oh, mine's broken. Just kidding.
Next question, while we do our face.
So,
Oh, no.
is everything okay?
No.
So I know you have a video on work-life balance. Where do you struggle the most with that though?
Following what I say in the video.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
You have a lot of bronzer on. I'm concerned.
Wait.
I'm so sorry to laugh.
Can you see my bronzer?
We can see it. There's just one spot where it's so
Dark. I know. It was almost a catastrophe.
Is there something that you were learning in school that you thought you were not going to need to focus on? Like it was like, oh, whatever, that's nothing. And then now you actually use it regularly.
Yeah, the immunization schedule.
See?
You know that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we work together also, but when you're in nursing school, like you're told like you need to know the immunization schedule because they're gonna test it during the Nclex, right? So on the Nclex, they asked maybe one question for immunizations and it was like, at what age do you give the second Hep B or something like that, right? But now, where I work, okay, so I supervise 3 children programs, but before this I was full-time in a child program, and I'm not gonna disclose it because that's where I still work. But you need to know the immunization schedule, like for everything you do, am I right?
Absolutely.
So we work with individuals who are not in the medical field, and they always ask,
Yeah.
right? Like immunizations.
There's a regular question on, is my kid behind? Where's my immunization record?
Yes.
Question. We're almost done. We just have lips left.
Yes.
Very good.
Your eyes came out fire. And
so much. Then yeah, I think you worked the shit out of that gold champagne color
thing. Okay guys, next up we're going on to our lips. So this is the BFF. I have Alondra's face.
And I have Elsie's. So I think this might be the last question. Yeah.
Last question.
Okay. Did you go through anything life-changing while in nursing school? How did you deal with it? And what's the advice you'd give to someone that could be also going through something similar?
So, believe it or not, there's going to be a lot of life-changing things happening in nursing school, because if you're in nursing school for a year to 3 years, life happens. Life doesn't just stop. I I lost my grandma during that time, and I broke up with my ex at the time that I was with for 10 years. So, let me just tell you, life is gonna happen during nursing school, and that's okay. You have to keep your mind set on your goal. You need to dig deep, remember why you started nursing school, get some good support around you, and push through. Because at the end of the day, that's gonna be your degree. And look at me now. My life is totally different, right? I'm with now the love of my life. But going through that, I thought that was the end of the world. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come out of this stronger. And so yes, got people around me, remembered my goal, and remember that at the end of the day, no matter who you're with, no matter who's around you, you're gonna have you at the end of the day. And I'm not saying your degree is everything, obviously, but that's something that is yours and only yours, and no one can take that away from you. And so you can take that with you going forward.
And
so
you work your butt off for it.
Definitely. So just know you're not the only one going through crazy stuff during nursing school. It happens with everyone. I definitely need a liner.
I'm not mad at this look.
I love it. I'm living. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you like our final looks, don't forget to head over to It's Yaya Marie's channel, link down in the bio, so you can see what we really thought about the collection. But I hope you learned something while we went through these questions. If you want me to elaborate on any of the questions, because I feel like these questions could be in a longer video.
And they could have more questions.
Yeah, so definitely leave your questions down in the comments so that I can create more content for you guys. Like this video and go ahead and subscribe and join the journey, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.